Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. In our last video, we journeyed with Sun Wukong through chapters 26 to 35 of Journey to the West, witnessing his daring exploits and the challenges faced by the monk Xuanzang. In this video, we will cover chapters 36 to 55, where the pilgrimage becomes even more treacherous. We'll explore the mystical realms of the Black-Rooster kingdom, witness the encounter with the fearsome Red Boy, and follow the group as they navigate through encounters with powerful celestial beings and demonic forces. So, join me as we continue to unravel the tale of Journey to the West, a story that has captivated readers for centuries with its blend of adventure, spirituality, and timeless wisdom. The next stop on their journey was a broken-down Buddhist temple known as Precious-Grove Monastery, or Baolin Si. Tired from their travels and seeking shelter for the night, the pilgrims approached the monastery, hoping to find hospitality and a place to rest. However, when Xuanzang, the humble monk, requests shelter, the monks of the monastery, who are more concerned with appearances and wealth, look down upon him due to his ragged, poor appearance. The monks, driven by their arrogance and disdain for Xuanzang's humble demeanor, refuse to offer shelter to the pilgrims, dismissing them without a second thought. This blatant rejection is a stark reminder of the corruption that has seeped into religious spaces, where superficial judgments overshadow the true spirit of compassion and kindness that Buddhism preaches. Sun Wukong, who is fiercely loyal to Xuanzang and quick to anger at any perceived disrespect towards his master, is deeply offended by the monk's arrogance and rudeness. Deciding that the monks need to be taught a lesson, Sun Wukong enters the monastery with his usual boldness. He wields his gold-banded staff and demonstrates his divine abilities. The sheer force and magical prowess that Sun Wukong displays terrify the monks, who realize they have made a grave mistake in turning away such powerful beings. Fearing the wrath of Sun Wukong and recognizing the error of their ways, the monks quickly change their attitude. They beg for forgiveness and agree to provide the pilgrims with food and shelter for the night. The once arrogant monks are now humbled, having been reminded of the true values of humility and respect. That night, under the peaceful glow of the full moon, Xuanzang sits quietly within the monastery, revising scriptures and books. This serene moment, as Xuanzang engages in his spiritual practice, offers him and his disciples a rare moment of tranquility on their arduous journey. The humbled monks, now respectful and attentive, provide the pilgrims with comfort and hospitality. However, this peaceful interlude is not without its underlying tension. The tranquility of the night foreshadows the challenges that still lie ahead for the pilgrims. The journey to the West is fraught with dangers, both physical and spiritual, and even in moments of rest, the pilgrims must remain vigilant. As Xuanzang sleeps peacefully within the monastery, he experiences a vivid and unsettling dream. In the dream, he is visited by the ghost of a man who claims to be the rightful king of the nearby Black-Rooster kingdom, Wuji Guo. The ghostly king explains that he was cruelly murdered by an evil Taoist sorcerer, who then assumed his identity and took over the throne. The impostor has been ruling the kingdom in his place, while the true king's soul has been left to wander in torment. To prove his royal identity and the truth of his story, the ghostly king presents Xuanzang with a white jade tablet. This tablet is a token of the king's legitimacy, a symbol that only the true ruler of the Black-Rooster kingdom would possess. The king begs Xuanzang to help him regain his throne and bring justice to the kingdom. The next morning, Xuanzang awakens and immediately recalls the dream in vivid detail. Recognizing that this was no ordinary dream, he shares the experience with his disciples, showing them the white jade tablet as proof of the ghost's claim. Sun Wukong, ever perceptive and quick to action, suspects that the dream is indeed a manifestation of the truth. Sun Wukong decides to investigate further and spots the dead king's son, the prince of Black-Rooster Kingdom, hunting in the woods nearby. Realizing that the prince may hold the key to uncovering the truth, Sun Wukong uses his transformation abilities to turn into a rabbit. By cleverly manipulating the situation, he lures the prince to the Precious-Grove Monastery, where Xuanzang and the disciples are waiting. Once the prince arrives at the monastery, Xuanzang and Sun Wukong reveal the truth about his father's murder and the impostor who now sits on the throne. They present the Jade Tablet, a symbol of the true king's authority, as evidence to support their claim. The prince, initially shocked and confused, listens carefully to their explanation. As the truth begins to sink in, the prince realizes that the man he has known as his father is indeed an impostor. He understands the grave injustice that has been done to his true father and vows to take action. The prince decides to confront the impostor king and reclaim his rightful place as the ruler of Black-Rooster Kingdom. He seeks out his mother, the queen, and together they discuss the strange and uncharacteristic behavior that the current king has exhibited over the years. The queen recalls instances where the king's actions and decisions seemed out of character, further confirming the prince's suspicions. This realization fills them with both sorrow and resolve. They must act quickly to restore the rightful king and bring justice to their family. To bring the true king back, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie set out to recover the real king's body, which they have learned is hidden in a well within the imperial garden. The well, however, was no ordinary well. It was a gateway to a hidden realm beneath the surface. Zhu Bajie, who is known for his brute strength and resilience, volunteers to dive into the well to retrieve the body. As Zhu Bajie descends into the depths of the well, he discovers an underwater dragon palace guarded by a dragon king. The dragon king is the guardian of this hidden realm, and within it, the body of the true king has been preserved. The dragon king explains that the body has been protected from decay by the feature-preserving pearl, a mystical artifact that maintains the appearance and condition of anything it touches. With the dragon king's permission, Zhu Bajie carefully retrieves the king's body from the well. Thanks to the power of the feature-preserving pearl, the body remains perfectly intact, as if the king had only just died. Zhu Bajie brings the body to the surface, where Sun Wukong is waiting to proceed with the next crucial step, bringing the king back to life. Sun Wukong, ever resourceful and determined, knows that the only way to restore the king is through the use of a powerful magical elixir. This elixir has the ability to restore life to the dead, but obtaining it will require a visit to one of the highest celestial authorities, the Supreme Exalted Lord Laozi. Sun Wukong ascends to heaven and seeks an audience with Lord Laozi, the deity revered for his wisdom and mastery of alchemy. Recognizing the righteousness of Sun Wukong's mission, Laozi agrees to lend him a soul-restoring elixir. This elixir has the power to bring the dead back to life. Returning to the mortal realm, Sun Wukong administers the elixir to the true king's body. As the elixir takes effect, the king's lifeless form begins to stir, and slowly, life returns to him. The once dead king opens his eyes, fully restored to life and health. The reunion with his son and wife is filled with emotion, but there is still one final task: confronting the impostor who has usurped the throne. The rightful king, accompanied by Xuanzang, Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, Sha Wujing, and the prince, returns to the palace to confront the impostor. When the false king sees the resurrected king enter the throne room, he realizes that his deception has been exposed. Desperate to escape punishment, the impostor reveals his true form, a lowly demon, and attempts to flee. In a last-ditch effort to save himself, the demon uses his magical powers to transform into an identical version of Xuanzang, hoping to confuse the group and escape in the ensuing chaos. The transformation is so perfect that even Sun Wukong's fiery golden eyes, which can see through most disguises, struggle to distinguish the real Xuanzang from the fake. Recognizing the difficulty in telling the two Xuanzangs apart, Sun Wukong devises a clever plan. He knows that the real Xuanzang is the only one who can recite the tightening headband mantra, a special chant that causes Sun Wukong's magical headband to tighten, inflicting pain as a means of control. Sun Wukong asks both Xuanzangs to recite the mantra, knowing that the impostor will be unable to do so. As expected, the fake Xuanzang is unable to recite the mantra, exposing himself as the demon. Just as Sun Wukong is about to strike the final blow, Bodhisattva Manjusri, a high-ranking celestial being, descends from the heavens and intervenes. Manjusri explains that the demon is actually her green-haired lion, a celestial beast that had gone rogue. Moved by the demon's repentance and acknowledging her responsibility, Manjusri takes the green-haired lion back to heaven, where he will be disciplined and rehabilitated. With the demon gone and the true king restored to his throne, peace is finally restored to the Black-Rooster kingdom. As the pilgrims approach roaring Mountain Haoshan, they hear a desperate cry for help echoing through the valleys. Concerned that someone might be in danger, Xuanzang instructs his disciples to follow the sound and investigate. As they make their way towards the source of the cry, they find a young child tied to a tree, apparently abandoned and in distress. Xuanzang, filled with compassion, is immediately moved to help the child. However, Sun Wukong, ever cautious and astute, senses that something is amiss. His suspicions are aroused by the child's situation, which seems too convenient to be real. Using his fiery golden eyes, Sun Wukong sees through the deception and recognizes that the child is, in fact, a demon playing a trick. Despite the demon's clever disguise, Sun Wukong decides to play along with the ruse. He offers to carry the child home on his back, pretending to fall for the demon's ploy. As they travel, Sun Wukong carefully observes the demon, preparing to strike when the time is right. As Sun Wukong prepares to attack the demon, the creature senses that its cover has been blown and reveals its true form. The child transforms into his demonic self, a demon named Red Boy, or Hong Haier, a powerful and malevolent demon known for his fiery temper and devastating abilities. Realizing that Sun Wukong is a formidable opponent, Red Boy acts quickly. He summons a powerful demonic wind, creating a chaotic storm that disorients the pilgrims. In the midst of the confusion, Red Boy seizes the opportunity to capture Xuanzang, whisking him away to his cave on Roaring Mountain. After Xuanzang is captured, Sun Wukong immediately sets out to learn more about their new adversary. He questions the local deities and spirits, hoping to uncover the demon's identity and any weaknesses he might possess. Through his inquiries, Sun Wukong learns that Red Boy is none other than the son of the Bull Demon King, Nu Mo Wang, a powerful demon lord and sworn brother of Sun Wukong. The Bull Demon King was one of 7 demon kings that Sun Wukong became sworn brothers with during his rebellious days. This revelation complicated the situation significantly. Sun Wukong now finds himself in a difficult position. He must rescue Xuanzang from Red Boy without offending the Bull Demon King, who was once his close ally. The bond of brotherhood between Sun Wukong and the Bull Demon King means that Sun Wukong must tread carefully, balancing his duty to protect Xuanzang with his loyalty to his old friend. Determined to rescue Xuanzang, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie make their way to Red Boy's cave, where the demon is holding their master captive. Upon arriving at the cave, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie confront Red Boy, demanding that he release Xuanzang immediately. However, Red Boy, confident in his own abilities and eager to prove his strength, refuses to comply. Instead, he chooses to engage the pilgrims in battle, relishing the opportunity to test his powers against such renowned opponents. During the battle, Red Boy reveals the extent of his power by unleashing the true fire of Samadhi, Sanmei Zhenhuo, an incredibly deadly flame that burns with an intensity that can incinerate almost anything in its path. The fire is fueled by Red Boy's demonic energy, making it nearly impossible to extinguish by ordinary means. Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing, caught off guard by the ferocity of the flames, find themselves overwhelmed by the heat. Despite their best efforts, they are unable to withstand the true fire of Samadhi and are forced to retreat. The flames are so intense that they threaten to consume them completely, leaving them with no choice but to flee in search of a way to counter the fire. Sun Wukong seeks help from the Dragon Kings, hoping that their command over water might be able to extinguish the flames. However, even the powerful rain summoned by the Dragon Kings proves ineffective against the demonic fire. The water evaporates before it can even reach the flames, leaving Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing in a dire situation. Exhausted and nearly dead from the heat and smoke, Sun Wukong collapses near a stream. It is only the cool water that brings him back to consciousness. Zhubaji, who has managed to escape the flames as well, revives Sun Wukong, but they both know that they cannot defeat Red Boy on their own. Recognizing the severity of the situation, Sun Wukong decides that they need divine intervention to overcome Red Boy's powers. He instructs Zhubaji to go and seek help from Guanyin, the Bodhisattva of compassion and goddess of mercy, who has aided them on several occasions in the past. While Zhubaji sets off to find Guanyin, Red Boy, aware that the pilgrims are seeking reinforcements, devises a cunning plan to deceive them further. He transforms himself into the likeness of Guanyin, hoping to trick Zhubaji and gain the upper hand. When Zhubaji encounters the disguised Red Boy, he believes he has found the real Guanyin and eagerly approaches. Taking advantage of Zhubaji's trust, Red Boy captures him as well, adding to his collection of prisoners and further complicating the situation for Sun Wukong and the pilgrims. With Xuanzang still in his clutches, Red Boy, filled with arrogance and overconfidence, decides to host a grand banquet where he plans to feast on Xuanzang's flesh. To make the event even more significant, he sends out an invitation to his father, the Bull Demon King, hoping to impress him with his capture. When Sun Wukong recovers, he realizes that Zhubaji is still gone, and Guanyin was nowhere to be seen. However, unbeknownst to Red Boy, Sun Wukong uses this opportunity to devise a plan to infiltrate the banquet. Using his shape-shifting abilities, Sun Wukong disguises himself as the Bull Demon King and arrives at Red Boy's cave, hoping to catch the demon off guard and rescue Xuanzang. Initially, Red Boy is deceived by the disguise and allows Sun Wukong to enter. However, Red Boy soon grows suspicious of his father's behavior and closely observes the disguised Sun Wukong. His suspicions are confirmed when he notices subtle differences in mannerisms and speech, ultimately exposing Sun Wukong's disguise. With his plan foiled, Sun Wukong realizes that he is out of options. He swiftly flies to Guanyin's abode, pleading for her assistance in saving Xuanzang and putting an end to Red Boy's menace. Guanyin, known for her compassion and wisdom, agrees to help, but decides to approach the situation with cunning and strategy. Guanyin arrives at Red Boy's lair disguised as an ordinary woman, a figure that Red Boy would not immediately recognize as a threat. She engages Red Boy in conversation, gradually gaining his trust. Eventually, Guanyin offers Red Boy a seat on her lotus platform, which appears harmless but is imbued with her divine power. When Red Boy sits down, the lotus platform transforms into a throne of knives, stabbing into his legs and causing him immense pain. As Red Boy struggles in agony, Guanyin reveals her true identity and throws 5 golden bands around his head, wrists, and feet. These bands tighten painfully, and Guanyin recites a powerful mantra that amplifies the torment. The pain from the bands, combined with Guanyin's spiritual power, proves too much for Red Boy to bear. Unable to withstand the excruciating pain and recognizing that he is no match for Guanyin's divine power, Red Boy finally surrenders. He begs for mercy, agreeing to give up his evil ways and become Guanyin's disciple. Guanyin, in her boundless compassion, accepts his surrender and takes him under her guidance, marking the end of Red Boy's threat to Xuanzang and the pilgrims. With Red Boy subdued, and now under the protection of Guanyin, Xuanzang is rescued, and the pilgrims are once again free to continue their journey westward. After their encounter with Red Boy, the pilgrims continue their journey and eventually reach the Blackwater River, Heishui-He, a vast and treacherous body of water that they must cross to proceed further west. As they arrive at the riverbank, they encounter a boatman who offers to ferry them across the river. Unbeknownst to them, the boatman is actually the Alligator Dragon, Tuolong, a fearsome river demon who has disguised himself to deceive the pilgrims. As the pilgrims reach the middle of the river, Tuolong suddenly reveals his true form. Seizing the opportunity, he captures Xuanzang and Zhubaji, dragging them into the depths of the river. The sudden attack catches the pilgrims off guard, leaving Xuanzang and Zhubaji in grave danger. Sha Wujing, who has a strong affinity with water due to his past life as a celestial general in the River of Flowing Sands, immediately dives into the river to confront Tuolong and rescue his master and fellow disciple. A fierce underwater battle ensues between Sha Wujing and Tuolong, with both combatants evenly matched. The fight is intense, but ultimately it ends in a draw, with neither able to gain the upper hand. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong, who was on the riverbank, intercepts a letter from Tuolong. The letter is an invitation to his uncle, the Dragon King of the West Sea, inviting him to a feast where Xuanzang's flesh is to be served. The letter reveals Tuolong's true intentions and connections, giving Sun Wukong the information he needs to devise a plan. Armed with the knowledge from the intercepted letter, Sun Wukong decides to seek reinforcements. He confronts the Dragon King of the West Sea, revealing the treacherous actions of his nephew Tuolong. The Dragon King, angered and ashamed by his nephew's behavior, agrees to assist Sun Wukong in capturing the rogue demon. The Dragon King sends his son, Prince Moang, to deal with Tuolong. Prince Moang, a skilled and powerful warrior, enters the river and engages Tuolong in battle. The fight is swift and decisive, with Prince Moang overpowering Tuolong and capturing him. With Tuolong defeated, Xuanzang and Zhu Baji are rescued from the depths of the river. The pilgrims, once again saved by the intervention of divine and celestial beings, continue their journey, having overcome yet another perilous challenge. As the pilgrims journey westward, they reach a place known as Cart-Slow Kingdom, Chechi Guo. Upon entering the kingdom, they immediately notice something troubling. A large group of Buddhist monks are being forced into hard labor, toiling under the watchful eyes of cruel overseers. The sight of these monks, once revered and respected, now reduced to the status of slaves, deeply disturbs Xuanzang and his disciples. Sun Wukong decides to investigate the situation. Using his shape-shifting abilities, he sneaks into the kingdom's inner circle to gather information. Sun Wukong learns that Cart-Slow Kingdom was once plagued by a severe drought that threatened the lives of its inhabitants. In desperation, the king of Cart-Slow Kingdom turned to 3 Taoist priests who claimed they could end the drought. The priests successfully summoned rain, saving the kingdom from ruin. In gratitude, the king converted to Taoism, elevating the 3 priests to the status of state preceptors, giving them immense power and influence over the kingdom. However, the priests abused their newfound power, using it to suppress Buddhism and enslave the Buddhist monks, forcing them to work under harsh conditions. Moved by the plight of the monks and angered by the Taoist priests' misuse of power, Sun Wukong assures the monks that he will help them regain their freedom. He formulates a plan to undermine the priests' authority and expose their corruption. That night, under the cover of darkness, Sun Wukong, Zhu Baji, and Sha Wujing sneak into the Taoist preceptor's abbey. Using their shape-shifting abilities, the 3 disciples transform into the figures of 3 gods, revered by the Taoist priests. They proceed to eat all the food offerings that were meant for the gods, causing a great commotion within the abbey. The priests, believing that the gods have descended to partake in the offerings, are both excited and terrified by the apparent divine visitation. The noise and disruption caused by Sun Wukong, Zhu Baji, and Sha Wujing soon draw the attention of the Taoist priests. When the priests arrive at the scene, they are shocked and awed by the sight of the 3 gods consuming the offerings. The priests, desperate to maintain their power and credibility, rush to appease the gods, unaware that they are being tricked. This clever deception by Sun Wukong and his companions not only disrupts the priests' control over the kingdom, but also sows doubt among the people about the legitimacy of the priests' power. Following the previous night's disruption, caused by the disguised pilgrims, the Taoist preceptors are eager to capitalize on what they believe to be a divine visitation. Mistakenly thinking that the gods have manifested in response to their devotion, the Taoist priests approach the disguised Sun Wukong, Zhu Baji, and Sha Wujing with reverence. They beg these gods for holy water and golden elixir, which are considered sacred substances in Taoism, believed to grant blessings and longevity. Seizing the opportunity to further humiliate the corrupt priests, the disguised pilgrims provide them with jugs filled not with holy water or elixir, but with their own urine. The Taoists, not realizing they are being tricked, eagerly accept the jugs, believing they are receiving divine gifts. After they consume the contents, the pilgrims reveal their true identities, laughing at the priest's gullibility. The Taoists, realizing they have been fooled, are humiliated and outraged. Before they can retaliate, the pilgrims flee the abbey, leaving the priest to wallow in their disgrace. The monks, who were previously enslaved, are emboldened by this act of defiance against the Taoist preceptors. The next day, the furious Taoist preceptors accuse the pilgrims of theft and desecration, bringing their complaints before the king of Cartslow Kingdom. The king is disturbed by the accusations and orders a contest to settle the dispute. The contest, suggested by the Taoists, is to summon rain, the same feat that initially earned them their position of power. The Taoists, confident in their abilities, begin their rituals, performing elaborate ceremonies to call down rain. However, unbeknownst to them, Sun Wukong left a decoy behind and secretly traveled to heaven and commanded the weather gods to withhold rain in response to the Taoists' rituals. Despite their best efforts, the Taoists are unable to produce even a single drop of rain. When it is the pilgrims' turn, Sun Wukong again uses his connection with the weather gods. This time, at his command, the skies open and rain pours down abundantly, drenching the kingdom and proving the pilgrims' superiority. The king, witnessing the miraculous rain summoned by the pilgrims, is left with no choice but to acknowledge their power. The Taoists' reputation is severely damaged, and their authority over the kingdom begins to wane. Refusing to admit defeat, the Taoists, desperate to maintain their hold on the kingdom, propose a series of life-threatening contests. These contests are designed to test the endurance and resilience of both the pilgrims and the Taoists. The challenges include chopping off heads, cutting open abdomens, and bathing in boiling oil, each more dangerous than the last. The Taoists believe that these extreme tests will prove their superiority and restore their credibility. Sun Wukong, always eager to showcase his magical abilities and unafraid of danger, volunteers to participate in these deadly contests. With each challenge, Sun Wukong uses his incredible powers to emerge unscathed. The first challenge was the head-chopping contest. In this contest, the participants are required to chop off their own heads and then reattach them, demonstrating their mastery over life and death. Sun Wukong, using his magical abilities, easily decapitates himself and reattaches his head, leaving the Taoists stunned. When the Taoists attempt the same feat, they are unable to reattach their heads, resulting in their death. The next challenge was the abdomen cutting contest. For this challenge, participants must slice open their abdomens, remove their intestines, and then place them back inside their bodies unharmed. Sun Wukong again succeeds without difficulty due to his magical powers. The Taoists, on the other hand, fail disastrously, leading to further deaths among their ranks. The final challenge involves bathing in a cauldron of boiling oil. This is intended to be a test of invulnerability and resilience. Sun Wukong, who is impervious to such physical harm, jumps into the boiling oil and emerges completely unharmed. When the Taoists attempt this challenge, they are unable to withstand the intense heat and are boiled alive. As each of the Taoists meet their end, their true identities are revealed. They are not human, but are, in fact, demons in disguise. Specifically, they are a tiger, a deer, and a goat demon who had taken on human forms to deceive the king and seize control of the kingdom. Their demonic nature explains their cruelty and the corrupt manner in which they ruled over the monks and the people of Cartslow Kingdom. With the defeat and death of the Taoist priests, the kingdom is liberated from their oppressive rule. The king, now realizing the extent of the deception, renounces his conversion to Taoism and restores the Buddhist monks to their rightful place of honor and respect. The pilgrims, having once again overcome a great challenge, continue their journey westward, bringing them one step closer to their ultimate goal. Leaving victorious, the group eventually reaches the banks of the heaven-reaching river, Tongtian-He, a vast and seemingly endless body of water that they must cross to continue their quest. The river is so wide that the opposite shore is barely visible, and its currents are treacherous, making it impossible to cross by conventional means. Exhausted from their journey, the pilgrims decide to spend the night in a nearby village, hoping to find a way to cross the river in the morning. In the village, the pilgrims learn of a terrible plight that has befallen the local people. Every year, a powerful demon lord known as the Great King of Numinous Power, Lingan Dawang, demands a sacrifice of a virgin boy and girl from the village. If the villagers fail to meet his demands, the demon unleashes destruction upon them, using his immense supernatural powers to control the weather and the river. The villagers live in constant fear, and the time for the next sacrifice is fast approaching. Moved by the villagers' suffering, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie offer to help. They devise a plan to deceive the demon by transforming themselves into the forms of the sacrificial children. By taking on the appearance of the boy and girl, they intend to lure the demon into a trap and defeat him, thus freeing the village from his tyranny. On the day of the sacrifice, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie, disguised as the children, are taken to the demon's temple, where the offering is to take place. The villagers, unaware of the pilgrims' plan, are heartbroken as they prepare to lose 2 more of their children to the merciless demon. However, they have no choice but to comply with the demon's demands. When the Great King of Numinous Power arrives at his temple, expecting to find his usual offerings, he is met with an unexpected surprise. As he prepares to take the children, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie reveal their true identities and launch a surprise attack on the demon. Caught off guard, the Great King of Numinous Power is momentarily overwhelmed by the strength and ferocity of the pilgrims. However, the demon is not easily defeated. Realizing that he is outmatched, the Great King of Numinous Power quickly escapes, fleeing into the wilderness. Despite their best efforts, Sun Wukong and Zhu Bajie are unable to prevent the demon from getting away. The demon, now aware of the pilgrim's strength, becomes even more determined to capture Xuanzang and consume his flesh, believing that it will grant him immortality. Knowing that the pilgrims must eventually attempt to cross the heaven-reaching river, the Great King of Numinous Power devises a cunning plan to trap them. Using his supernatural powers, the demon freezes the surface of the river, creating a solid layer of ice. The ice appears thick and sturdy, luring the pilgrims into a false sense of security as they believe they can now cross the river safely. The next morning, Xuanzang, Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing set out to cross the frozen river. However, as they walk across the ice, the demon, hiding beneath the surface, waits for the right moment to strike. When the pilgrims are in the middle of the river, the Great King of Numinous Power breaks the ice from below, causing Xuanzang to fall into the freezing water. The demon seizes the opportunity to capture Xuanzang, dragging him into the depths of the river. With Xuanzang captured, Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing find themselves in a perilous situation. The ice beneath their feet is breaking apart, and the freezing water threatens to engulf them. Using their agility and strength, the 3 disciples manage to save themselves from falling into the river, but they are unable to immediately rescue Xuanzang from the demon's clutches. The demon, now fully aware of the pilgrim's resolve and power, uses all the tricks at his disposal to keep Xuanzang imprisoned and to defeat his attackers. The battle is fierce, with the demon using the river and the icy terrain to his advantage, but Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing refuse to give up. After a prolonged and intense battle with the Great King of Numinous Power, Sun Wukong realizes that despite his strength and the efforts of Zhu Bajie and Sha Wujing, they are unable to fully defeat the demon and rescue Xuanzang. The demon's power is formidable, and his control over the river and the elements proves too challenging for the pilgrims to overcome on their own. Recognizing the need for divine intervention, Sun Wukong decides to seek help from Guanyin, the Bodhisattva of compassion, who has assisted them on multiple occasions throughout their journey. He flies to Guanyin's abode and pleads for her assistance, explaining the dire situation and the danger Xuanzang faces. Moved by the pilgrim's plight and Xuanzang's unwavering commitment to the journey, Guanyin agrees to intervene. She arrives at the heaven-reaching river, where the demon still holds Xuanzang captive beneath the icy waters. Using her divine powers, Guanyin takes out a purple bamboo basket, a mystical object that has the ability to contain and control spiritual beings. With a graceful but powerful gesture, Guanyin dips the purple bamboo basket into the river and retrieves a goldfish from the water. To the amazement of the pilgrims, she reveals that the great king of Numinous power was actually her pet goldfish. Over time, the goldfish had gained power and intelligence by listening to Guanyin's recitation of the sutras and had eventually transformed into a demon, using its newfound abilities for mischief and evil. Guanyin gently chastises the goldfish for its misdeeds, reminding it of its true nature and the responsibilities that come with power. The goldfish, now subdued and humbled, is placed back into the purple bamboo basket, ending its reign of terror over the river and the surrounding area. With the demon subdued and Xuanzang rescued, the immediate threat to the pilgrims is neutralized. However, they still face the challenge of crossing the vast heaven-reaching river. Sensing their need, Guanyin calls upon the great white turtle, a massive and ancient creature that resides in the depths of the river. The great white turtle, who is both wise and benevolent, emerges from the waters and offers his assistance. The turtle, deeply respectful of Xuanzang's holy mission, offers to carry the pilgrims across the river on his back, ensuring their safe passage. The pilgrims gratefully accept the offer, and with Guanyin's blessing, they climb onto the turtle's broad shell. As the great white turtle begins to swim across the river, the pilgrims experience a smooth and peaceful journey, finally reaching the far shore without further incident. As the pilgrims continue their journey, they enter a desolate region where their food supplies run low. Concerned for the group's welfare, Xuanzang asks Sun Wukong to fetch provisions. Before leaving, Wukong draws a magical protective circle around Xuanzang, Zhubajie, and Sha Wujing, warning them not to step outside it, as it will protect them from danger. However, Zhubajie, impatient and impulsive, convinces Xuanzang and Sha Wujing to ignore Wukong's warning and continue their journey. They soon come across a seemingly harmless house in the forest. Unbeknownst to them, the house is a trap set by the great king's single-horned bovine, Dujiao Sida Wang, a powerful demon. As soon as they enter, they are captured and bound by the demon's magic. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong returns with the provisions and learns from the earth deity that his master and companions have been captured by the demon. Rushing to their aid, Wukong confronts the demon and wields his gold-banded staff with confidence. However, the great king's single-horned bovine reveals a powerful weapon, a magical hoop known as the Golden Hoop, which can control and seize any object. To Wukong's shock, the hoop effortlessly captures his staff, leaving him defenseless. Realizing he cannot defeat the great king's single-horned bovine alone, Sun Wukong seeks help from the celestial forces. He ascends to heaven and pleads with the Jade Emperor to send reinforcements to aid him in battling the demon and rescuing his companions. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the Jade Emperor dispatches Prince Neza, one of heaven's most powerful warriors, to assist Wukong. Neza, armed with his fire-tipped spear and windfire wheels, descends to earth and engages the demon in battle. Despite Neza's formidable skills, the demon's magical hoop proves too powerful. The hoop absorbs Neza's weapons, rendering him defenseless and forcing him to retreat. Undeterred, Sun Wukong requests help from various fire and water gods, who attempt to subdue the demon with their elemental powers. The fire gods unleash blazing infernos, and the water gods summon torrential floods. But the demon's magical hoop continues to absorb their powers, leaving them powerless. Realizing that brute force alone will not defeat the demon, Wukong devises a cunning plan. He transforms into a tiny fly and sneaks into the demon's cave, where the magical hoop and his gold-banded staff are kept. With his gold-banded staff back in hand, Sun Wukong returns to confront the great king's single-horned bovine. Despite his regained strength, the demon's magical hoop seizes Wukong's staff once again, leaving him defenseless. Realizing that he needs more help, Wukong decides to seek assistance from the most powerful being he knows, Tathagata Buddha. Wukong journeys to the Western Paradise and pleads for Tathagata's intervention. Compassionate as ever, Tathagata sends the 18 Arhats, enlightened monks with great spiritual power, to subdue the demon. The Arhats arrive at the demon's lair armed with golden cinnabar sand, a substance of immense purifying power. They attempt to trap the demon with the sand, but the magical hoop absorbs it, rendering the Arhat's efforts futile. The Arhats inform Wukong that Tathagata suggests seeking help from the Supreme Exalted Lord Laozi. Wukong travels to Laozi's domain and learns that Laozi's divine steed, the green buffalo, is missing. Laozi deduces that his steed has transformed into the Great King single-horned bovine, using the powerful hoop, which is actually Laozi's diamond cutter, a celestial weapon of great power. Laozi agrees to accompany Wukong back to the demon's lair. Upon seeing Laozi, the green buffalo surrenders immediately. Laozi reclaims his diamond cutter, neutralizing the magical hoop. With the demon subdued, Laozi takes back his creature, allowing the pilgrims to continue their journey. After the intense encounter with the Great King single-horned bovine, the pilgrims arrive at the Kingdom of Women, also known as the Womanland of Western Liang. This is a mysterious and secluded kingdom inhabited entirely by women. As they enter, the pilgrims are greeted with hospitality, but they soon encounter an unexpected challenge. While exploring the kingdom, Xuanzang and Zhubajie unknowingly drink water from the Child Mother River, a mystical river that causes anyone who drinks from it to become pregnant. Within a short time, both Xuanzang and Zhubajie exhibit signs of pregnancy, causing panic among the group. Soon Wukong, who was away at the time, returns to find his master and fellow disciple in distress. Desperate to find a solution, Wukong learns from the local women that the only remedy is a special concoction known as abortion water, which can be obtained from the true immortal of miracles, Ruya Zengxian. This immortal, however, holds a grudge against Wukong for the defeat of his nephew, Red Boy, and refuses to help. Determined to save his master, Wukong devises a plan to outsmart the immortal. With the help of Sha Wujing, Wukong distracts the immortal in battle, allowing Sha Wujing to steal the abortion water. The remedy is quickly administered to Xuanzang and Zhubajie, relieving them of their condition. The group then leaves, grateful to have escaped another dangerous situation. Following their ordeal at the Child Mother River, the pilgrims arrive at the capital of the Kingdom of Women. The Queen of the Kingdom, captivated by Xuanzang's appearance and wisdom, falls deeply in love with him and proposes marriage. Xuanzang, who has taken vows of celibacy, is horrified by the proposal, but fears the consequences of outright refusal. Soon Wukong advises Xuanzang to accept the proposal temporarily, believing it safer to comply until they can find a way to escape. Reluctantly, Xuanzang agrees, and a grand wedding banquet is held in the Queen's honor. The Queen is overjoyed and agrees to grant his disciples permission to pass through the kingdom, allowing them to continue their journey. However, Xuanzang, still intent on completing his pilgrimage, requests permission to see his disciples off as a final farewell. The Queen, unaware of the pilgrims' true intentions, agrees. At the border of her kingdom, Xuanzang quickly rejoins his disciples and escapes, leaving the Queen heartbroken. After escaping the Kingdom of Women, the pilgrims are suddenly confronted by a new and dangerous foe. A mysterious woman appears out of nowhere and abducts Xuanzang. Sun Wukong, Zhubajie, and Sha Wujing immediately give chase, following the trail to a desolate mountain where they discover a hidden cave. Inside, the mysterious woman reveals her true form, a Scorpion Demoness, who attempts to seduce Xuanzang, hoping to corrupt his pure spirit. Xuanzang, however, remains steadfast in his commitment to his Buddhist vows and resists the Demoness's advances. The Scorpion Demoness grows increasingly frustrated and aggressive, trying to break Xuanzang's resolve. Sensing that his master is in grave danger, Sun Wukong decides to confront the Demoness directly. The battle between Sun Wukong and the Scorpion Demoness is fierce. The Demoness, armed with a deadly stinger-like tail, manages to sting Sun Wukong on the head, injecting him with venom that causes him excruciating pain. Despite his formidable powers, Wukong is forced to retreat to recover from the venom's effects. Zhubajie then attempts to rescue Xuanzang, but is quickly stung by the Demoness as well, rendering him incapacitated. With both of his companions injured and unable to fight, Xuanzang is left in a perilous situation. In desperation, Wukong seeks advice from Guanyin, who instructs him to seek the help of Star Officer Kritika, Maori Xingguan, a celestial being with the power to defeat the Scorpion Demoness. Kritika takes the form of a giant rooster and accompanies Wukong back to the Demoness's lair. Upon arrival, Kritika lets out a powerful crow, a sound so unbearable to the Scorpion Demoness that it causes her immense pain. Unable to withstand the noise, she perishes, revealing her true form as a scorpion. With the Scorpion Demoness defeated, Xuanzang is rescued, and the pilgrims continue their journey westward. Our heroes have journeyed through dangerous lands, encountered devious demons, and faced trials that have tested their loyalty, strength, and faith. But the road ahead remains fraught with even greater challenges. The next chapters will take us deeper into the heart of this epic adventure, where the stakes continue to rise, and the pilgrims must summon every ounce of their strength and wisdom to persevere. Stay with us as we continue to follow Xuanzang, Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing on their perilous journey to the Western Paradise. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. What did you think? Did I miss any details? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome to the channel. I hope I earned a like and subscription in your eyes. If not, that's okay. I'll keep making videos until I do earn it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate all the views, likes, subscriptions, and kind words and messages. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here today. That's it for now. I hope to see you all in the next one.